Hi crafters and welcome. So today is Saturday, March 21st. And was it yesterday first day of spring or is today the first day of spring? I don't know. I've always gone on the 21st, but some people go on the 20th, so I don't know. Anyway, welcome. Uh Kind of weird weather this weekend. The Chicagoland suburbs, we've had uh snow and rain and high temperatures and yeah, all over the place. Anyway, let's talk about this bundle that's now available. It is a online exclusive. I believe it's an online exclusive. I don't think it's in the mini catalog. Here, I'll be able to tell you. Yes, it's an online exclusive. All right. So it's Forever Florals. It's 11 stamps, 14 dies. So we have my stamps in here, of course, and then my dies. Okay, and they all fit into this container. So let's start with the stamps first. Let me grab out, I did a bunch of card surgery. So a lot of the cards that I've made, I have cut down to panels. So I have a bunch of panels I can stamp on. So let's see. I think that's a couple. Is there one or two there? Gosh, that feels really thick. Yeah, that's a thick card base apparently. Then here's another one. All right, so that's what we'll use to stamp out our 11 stamps. All right, and we're just going to use Memento on all of them. Now, Memento, I believe, is going away. I've only seen the online edition of the upcoming catalog. And it's kind of, it's always hard to look at online. You got to have it in your hand. So I won't have that till sometime next week. We do get to pre-order on Tuesday, but unless I pay expedited shipping, which I usually don't, I probably won't have anything by next weekend to show you. All right, so let's go through this. So, like I said, 11 stamps. There's 4 that are phrases, and then you have your 7 that are flowers and or flower-like. Oh, darn, I did that again. All right, so let's start, because the way this got caught, some of them are in here, some are in there. So let me put this over to the side here so I can stamp goods. So let's see. So let's go ahead. Let me just grab out. I'm just grabbing out any little ink spot. So this is actually a flower stamp. All right, so there's a flower stamp. Then you have your leaves. Let me see if I can find a green one really quick. It's just easy because I have my spots right beside me. My stamp pads are over there by my work desk. So let's go ahead. And looking at this, it looks like this is really the top of it. So then my stem would go right there. I didn't do a very good inking on that, but you can kind of see that's how the stem goes. Did that again, didn't want to do that. Then we also have just a single flower and a single leaf. So I will put those on either side of this small block. Let me get out this Poppy Parade again. Oh, again, I didn't get good inking on there. There we go, much better. There's the small flower on the other side. Here's the small leaf. All right, so there we go, small flower, small leaf. So that is 4 of them so far. Then we have This looks like it is actually additional. Like to go here. Let's go darker with our black. These look like these are actually the parts of the veins for the flowers. And then this little tiny one is flowers, veins for the leaves. And then this little one is the tiny veins for those leaves. So that's what those little lines are, these lines here. All right, and then the only thing left after the 7 is this little background. Little dots, which who doesn't like this? And I think, if I remember right, that these dots are also the insides of the flowers. Oh, I did not get a good inking on that, and I got too much in. So let's try to do this first, and then let's do the flowers over. So we're looking at 3 across, and 2. I'm going down right over. Oh, I'm still a little off. But you can see, you can use it as a background or as the centers of those flowers. Yeah, they got smudged in there. All right. Ooh, sinuses are going crazy. All right, so let's go ahead. Putting everything over here because this is everything I need to clean out of those 7. All right, now let's get to the words. I'm going to put the words on a separate one over here. Ooh, maybe I should use this one because they're thick. This is thick cardstock, so this would be good for words. Just a great script for the font on these word stamps. There you have always and forever. Here you have thinking of you. And we have 2 smaller ones. These I'll put over here. You're on my mind. And the last one, and in my heart. So just really nice script. Very cursive girly in my opinion. All right, so that was your 11 stamps. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my little wash tray. I don't have any water in there, but normally if I was doing anything like with a paste or with a stencil, I would have this filled with water to go ahead and clean things off. But this will just remind me that I have to clean these off. All right. So over here for now, let's put the memento back. This is one thing where I stand here. Oh, sorry, that was loud. Where I stand here and record from is a very small space, so I always try to keep it somewhat tidy due to my limited space. All right, so here is the dies. Again, 14 die piece set, 14 pieces. So let's go ahead and I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then we're going to cut these out. Go grab that from over here. Oh, I don't want to lose that. Where did I put that? I don't want to lose my cover for that in there. All right, and I'm just going to be reaching for my scraps over here. first thing I'm going to reach for is this big, yeah, I'm going to put it over here so you can still see it when I'm not rolling it through. All right, I think you'll be able to see that. I think that stays in screen. All right, so let's start with this one, the big frame. So let's go ahead. Now, and I will show you, but you can do the frame by itself. I'm going to angle it a little bit so it goes through a little easier because you have a lot of pressure points, cut points on this die. Let's see. I don't think I need to turn it upside down, but I will just in case. All right, so let's go ahead and pull that up and look at how gorgeous that is. Let me grab something to go behind it so you can see. Look at how gorgeous that is. Now we're going to do this. Now this sits inside of it. I don't know if it's a perfect match. I haven't really figured that out, but we're going to cut this one out then. And I think, because these are all scritchies. Yeah. There, I think I got most of the scritchies out. Let me go ahead and throw that over here. My little wastebasket. All right, so I got most of those out. Now I don't know if I'll be able to line this up on here to use this piece to cut out. Oh, it looks like that will cut it out there. Oh, I don't know if I trust it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this in the bubble bath. You know what? And I'm going to start it off with it upside down. How about that? Just because I think it cuts better when it's upside down. So you just want to make sure you don't see any of your edges of your die. If you're looking for precise placement, you wouldn't go upside down because it'd be kind of hard. Just went back and forth a few times because it is a very intricate die. Oh my goodness, on the floor. All right, so that's not going to come out by itself, so we'll go ahead and poke it out. If I didn't have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on the table, I would throw it on my glass mat, and that would most likely just rip it right out or bring it right out. All right, so let's go very carefully there. And there's that. Everything punched out except one little tiny hole. All right, so there's that. And again, probably fits in there somehow, but we'll figure that out later. I have not looked at this set. This is the first time I'm actually bringing it out. So just being truthful and letting you know. All right, so we've done those two. And that does fit in there somehow. I had it in there. Just put it like that for now. All right, let's go ahead and do a few more. Let me use this piece. And we have a few frames. Let's see if we can do all the frames at once. Oh, hold please. Okay, thanks guys. Sorry. The fun and thrill of being on daily chemotherapy pills is just sometimes you need to make a break for it. All right, so let's go ahead and cut these out. I'm cutting them out 3 at a time. I usually wouldn't do that, but for the sake of time, so this video doesn't end up being, you know, half-hour long, we'll do 3 at one time. All right. So, and here's where I will start to use this. All right, so can you see how that cuts out? It's not a slit, it's actually just that extra impression, which is something they're talking about in the new catalog, that they're actually introducing a new, like a impression plate, which I think is something I've had forever from our old Big Shot, which helps with some of these cuts, so that it'll cut and do that like impression look all at once. All right, let's go ahead, let's do some flowers in pink. I'm thinking this, let me grab this. I think this matches up with these flowers. Yep, look right there. Oh no, I don't want to. I just damaged that corner. I don't think we're going to be able to cut that out anyway. So that will cut out the flowers. This will cut out the leaves. It's not going to be a very good cut here because I'm halfway off the card here. So we'll just show you how it cuts out from here. What I've already stamped. If I had known that's what it was, I would have done it more in the middle of the card. But I don't edit these videos, so what you see is what you get. Oops. Let's do that the other way, Roxy. All right. So there's the leaf. You see it's just a little off there because that's where I cut it off the card. Okay. So then you also have the single leaf. You have the single flower. All right. It's hard to do that without getting my head in the shot, and you don't want to see my grays and or my scraggly textured hair. Again, another fun part being on daily chemotherapy pills. All right, so let's see how well I did that since I didn't get my head in the shot. It's pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. The leaf is good. The flower I could have done better on. Okay, so then what do we have left here? Oh, so we have two more. That's nice. So you can cut out multiples. So it's just that exact same leaf. Can you see that? And that exact same flower. So you have 2 flowers and 2 leaves. Then you have these standalone dies. So let's go ahead and grab a piece of green for this. Probably not going to work. All right, we'll poke it out again. Again, if I was on the glass board, that would have come straight out. But there's your leaf. Oops, let me get that. I bent it a little. There we go. And then we have 2 sets of flowers. Let me get that green out of the way. Let's put this pink back down. Alright, and I don't know, these come out, well, they do come out as one. Wasn't sure if they would come out as individual flowers or as separate individual flowers. But this, it hit the glass mat. Oh, there it is. Here, let me do this. All right. So there's that one. Let me turn it the right way. Oops. So that has the 3 pieces, and this one has, let me put this back. I don't think I need that anymore. And this has the flowers that also match up to that stamped sentiment. Let me show you. Let me grab that back. So see, there's the 3, 3, and 2. Okay, there's the tiny one is right there. I don't know if it matches up exactly. We'll explore that. How about that? It looks like it would match up, but I don't know if it will. If it does, I think it would be this way. Yep. Oops. Silly focus. So it does, it would cut it out. All right. So that's it. Let me put this over on the side. Let's bring everything back in. All right, so again, let me get some of these scraps out of here. So again, we have 14 dies. So we have the 3 shapes, we have the big one, we have this inside piece that I will figure out. So that's 2, that's 5. Then we have 2 each of these, that's 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so these all cut out your stamped images. These are standalones, but this one does match up to that stamp and die. All right, so let me put this over here. Let me bring these back. And what is left of our stamped items, pretty much the sayings. yeah, so there you are. There's your stamp and die bundle. Let me put another card underneath there. Excuse me. So you can see that one a little bit better. All right, so there you are. So your dies, your stamps, 11 and 14. And a piece of Post-it tape from yesterday's video. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Come back tomorrow on Sunday, and we will do a card together, and I'll have some examples made with what we've cut out and what I work on. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.